Hello friends, and welcome to another Angry Hobo channel with your host Angry Hobo. Let's listen to this beautiful noise. I love this noise. Every time I go to use my vehicle, this is what I get to listen to. And it's it's like a planned obsolescence part in there it's designed to fail so that that noise will harass you, so you'll spend more money, because really the only reason you just want the noise to stop. And it's all it is has something to do with the air conditioning and stuff, but the air conditioner still works, everything works, and that part has been replaced, and then within a handful of months, then it started doing it again. And so it's just it's so dumb, bro. It's a whole planned obsolescence. It's fucking rigged bullshit is what it is. But that doesn't happen because this is a civilized society, and if things like that do happen, it's always it's just like a off chance that it isn't like a common thing that society is just always out to rip you off. No, because this is a civilized society. Damn those homeless people for being so uncivilized in our civilized society, you guys. Damn those uncivilized people, right? Damn them to hell. Damn them for all time, the uncivilized. We must damn them from our civilized society. Anyhow, I'm sorry. I apologize. Alright, so anyhow, every time I try to do that story, I can never give that story the justice it deserves. That's why I'm determined it needs to be a book, and possibly even like a movie or a series. And so, which is why I did the storyboard. The storyboard is so I have all that. I have all of this story told as best as I can. And then so retelling the story is just better. It's more stuff that I have. And I am going to keep working on this story, and I'm not sure if I think I've mentioned it. I know I mentioned it in a video that got deleted before I could upload it, but I may have been able to mention it in another video that is uploaded, that I have a friend who I have a friendly acquaintance, I'll say, who seems like really cool dude that has ties to Hollywood and shit. And that's not like me trying to say that I'm going to try to get this to go to Hollywood. What the point of me mentioning that is because of the different resources that he has available and even connections, it's possible that I actually could get this in a format that is desirable, that will really tell the whole story. That's all I care about. I don't care about it going to Hollywood or anything like that. If it was just some shitty B-rated movie that some people just happen to see or whatever. Dude, I know a guy who does movies, and they're on Tubi. I know a guy that does movies. He's got 4 or 5 of them on Tubi. And they're B-rated movies, they're straight to DVD. They don't go to theaters or anything like that, and they're on Tubi. And they're like slasher kind of campy dark comedy horror movies. And he gets chicks with big tits and stuff like this. They're just really trashy fucking horror movies. And yeah, man. And I don't know, I could contact him too, I was thinking about talking to him about, that would be cool if he did a movie. What it is it's not me wanting to try to convince somebody. What it is me being able to present the story to somebody who would look at it and go, wow, you know, like my buddy who does these stupid movies, he does these trashy slasher movies, right? Like, the idea is for me to get my story to someone like him who would look at it and go, wow, could I make a movie about this? And I'd be like, dude, that's why I gave it to you. And then I'd tell him, I'd be like, I don't want no credit. And like the guy that I know that does movies, he wouldn't. He'd be like, oh no, bro, we're going to put your name on it. I already know. He wouldn't allow me to not have credit for the film, right? He would. And, but dude, like, okay. Have you ever seen the movie Adaption with Nicolas Cage? I think it's probably Nicolas Cage's best movie. One of them anyways. One of the top 3. Okay. Adaption is based on a true story. And it's so, dude, there's the scene. If you watched the movie Adaption, okay, there's the scene where Nicolas Cage, he reluctantly goes to this workshop where this guy talks to people about the best approaches to writing a script for a movie. And Nicolas Cage's character, he's all butthurt because, see, what happened is he got writer's block and he couldn't fucking write scripts. And his twin brother, who isn't even a script writer, is gaining all this success because he's just experimenting with script writing. And so Nicolas Cage's character, he's all butthurt. Like, he's a cynic. He's like fucking like fuck everything and fuck everyone, you know. But he's had some success with writing films, but then he goes into this writer's block. And so he goes to this workshop where this guy is explaining the best approaches to writing movie scripts. And dude, this scene, it's just like this little 2-minute clip. There's these great gems, great little 2-minute clip gems that just, you know, are just like really great pearls of wisdom. And the guy that's doing the workshop, he starts well, because Nicolas Cage's character raises his hand and he asks some cynical question about, well, what about like when you're writing movies, don't you want it to be like really fantastical where people can escape reality and this and that and all this stuff? And the guy totally reams him in front of everybody else. He's like explaining how, no, that what you want to extract from real life, there is nothing more insane there is nothing more insane and fantastical and like crazy going on that we can draw from than reality itself, you know, like truth is stranger than fiction kind of shit. What's the point in writing fiction when truth is stranger than fiction? No, you want your movies to be based on shit that's going on around you all the time, all the beauty, all the sorrow, all the hatred, all the laugh, like. And it was just like, bam, you know. And dude, it's true. Dude, they make movies out of real shit. They don't, you know. That's where they get their ideas for the best movies. Like They Live is based on, it's real, you know. Now the Aliens is arguable. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say either way because, but dude, like the whole concept is genius, you know. And so anyways, I don't want to go off too much on this. All right, so let me go on to some other. I'm just going to randomly shift around. So anyways, this one commenter commented about how they had been in a relationship and had a close encounter with a narcissist, a male narcissist. And because of their close encounter, they could relate with me. The person that commented could relate with me. You know, was like, dude, yeah. And so I wanted to talk a little bit on that because look, and this is the thing. Don't feel excluded if you have not had a close, look, let me try to put it in a way to where people aren't going to get offended. If you have not had a close encounter with like a crazy like psychopath, sociopath, malignant narcissist, like demon possessed, whatever. If you have not had a close encounter, a few things. One of which being you may not know that you haven't still yet had your first full-blown encounter. Because like I said, I thought I knew what narcissism was, okay? And it would make me think of people where I had fucked up shit, where I was interacting with them and it was fucked up shit. Okay, and so I was like, yeah, I know what a narcissist is. Yeah, those sons of bitches narcissists. I thought I knew. But when I had this experience, which I call the event, it's different, you guys. It's different. And so before the event, I thought I knew what a narcissist was. I thought I knew what malignant narcissism was. I thought I knew what sociopath is. I thought I knew it. But when that event happened, which was only just over 3 years ago, dude, it's way different. Like, you will know. I mean, unquestionably. Like, it will blur all the lines of reality. You will literally see demon possession, and you will be questioning yourself, like, because dude, these fucking psychopaths and sociopaths, and what they do is, if you ever have this experience, okay, the only reason you're having it is because they have lifted the veil to intentionally expose themselves to you. And the reason that they do this is to instill fear in you. Because what they do is they gain your trust so that you think that this person is trustworthy, this person is this and that, and they develop this trust over years. And then one day, and it'll be random, just like the reason serial killers kill. It's random. Like they don't. It's the same thing. It'll be just random, out of the blue. One day, they will just make sure nobody else is around, where it's just you and them, and they will unveil the mask and intentionally show you, to scare you, to basically to break you, to completely break you. That's the only to basically murder your soul. That's the so when you truly discover like a real sociopath, like psychopath, malignant narcissist, where you know through and through, to your bones, you know that this person is purely evil, like just pure evil. It's because they intentionally exposed it to you. And the whole idea is, look at me, look at who I am, and like, look, I've deceived you this whole time, and nobody's gonna believe you. That's why they unveil the mask, is to gaslight you, and a big part of the whole gaslighting is that nobody's gonna believe you, because I wear this mask all the time. Everybody sees me as this. I just unveiled it to fucking fuck your head up. And so now go try to tell anybody. Nobody's gonna believe you. And they put the mask back on, and they're just like, what? Like a reptilian. You know, this is why some of these conspiracy theories, they do hold water, like a reptilian. Okay, in the metaphoric sense, that's what a sociopath is a reptilian. In a metaphoric sense, that's what a malignant narcissist is a reptilian. In a metaphoric sense, that's exactly what it is, dude. And okay, and they are like the worst people. There's no good qualities about them. Like, what somebody tried to tell me that I'm giving her too much credit or power, and I'm like, and see, this is a person that they don't understand what I'm talking about. They don't, because really what it is empowering is, it's empowering to me, because now I know what a malignant narcissist is, you know. And that's the thing. If you haven't, so anyway, so this person put a comment and was identifying with me and saying that they had a close encounter too, And because of their close encounter, they were agreeing with me that, yes, they were agreeing with what I was saying. And it's like experience. So there is a difference between a person who has encountered it and a person who hasn't. And a person who hasn't encountered, had a real close encounter, they might think that they have and think that they know, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a part of the process. But there's still a difference between a person who thinks they have had a close encounter. There's a difference between that and a person who truly has. And I'm going to say, it doesn't make you a better person or a lesser person whether or not you've had a close encounter. Okay? It doesn't, like, if you haven't had a close encounter, that doesn't make you a lesser person or anything like that. It really doesn't. And it's kind of like glass half full, glass half empty. Like, I could look at a person who's never had a close encounter and regard that person as being blessed by God or something, where it's like, dude, you don't want to experience it. You don't want to experience it, you know. If you haven't, then maybe it's because you're blessed by God or something, dude. Like, God is watching you, bro. Where on the other side of the coin, if you have, okay, first of all, like, that doesn't make you better either, you know. But it does curse you with a vision that forces you to see. If I were to steal a Corrosion of Conformity song lyric, the person that has had a close encounter with a malignant narcissist, sociopath, psychopath and stuff, you are in the know on something that a lot of people don't know, you know. And there's a great deal to be learned. Like, both are a blessing. If you haven't, then that's a blessing. But if you have and you survive and live to tell the tale, that's also a blessing. But one isn't necessarily better than the other, and the person that has isn't better than the person that hasn't, and all this stuff. So anyway, and then the other thing I wanted to get to is so like I have a female apparently that saw one of my videos, and I don't know if the person is subscribed, and it's none of my business. It doesn't matter to me. I don't, you know, it's not like, why, whatever. But all I'm saying is, like, I was talking mad trash about females, okay? And so I want to, since I just assume that females aren't really watching my videos, you know, and aren't really watching videos, especially videos with a format like mine. But that's you know, whatever. And so, first off, I want to say this is not an apology. Like, I make no apology for my temperament, okay? What I was saying about females, where I was saying, dude, like, show me the woman that isn't just using a man for his money and a place to stay, and isn't ready to cheat on him at the first opportunity. You know, a guy drives up, a fucking really handsome guy drives up in a Lamborghini, pulling up next to the girl who's supposedly true to her husband or true to her boyfriend, and is not using her boyfriend for money and using her boy. And then the guy with the Lamborghini just pulls up beside her and says, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And you know, come on, dude, look, you're never gonna convince me. You're never gonna convince me. Like, sure, there may be a very small percentage of women that aren't just using men for money and you know, and just using men, sure, but it's such a small percentage that the chances of a guy like me and probably you is, like, you know, like us actually meeting one and having any kind of relationship is pretty slim. It's, you know, so yeah, they might exist somewhere, but so might you know, unicorns may exist somewhere too, and giants, you know, might exist. Giants are living under the earth, you know, sure. Interdimensional beings might exist too. Yeah, Jesus, maybe he existed. You know, there's, the possibilities are endless. The dragons could exist. But don't be trying to blow smoke up my skirt, dude. About how, you know, and I'm not saying this to any one particular person. I'm just talking to at media, all media at large and in general, dude. The mythological creature just doesn't exist. It's I'll believe it when I see it. And so I was kind of talking this mad trash, right? and about women, right? And first of all, like I said, I make no apology for my temper. All women are whores except for my mom. But sometimes I even wonder about her. I don't know. No, but anyways, all I'm saying is that it's the same with it's people. It's men, it's women, it's Mexicans, it's blacks, it's whites, it's Jews, it's people. You know, that's why all of this stuff, all of this divisive bullshit, like men versus women, the battle of the sexes, you know, LGBT versus straight, you know, the Jews versus all this stuff about race and gender, it's all garbage, dude, because it's people. People suck. It isn't black people that suck. It isn't white people that suck. It isn't Jews that suck. It isn't women that suck. It isn't men that suck. It isn't gays that suck or whatever. It's people, dude. And I keep bringing this up because this is just a reoccurring theme, you know, is I love humankind. It's people I can't stand, you know. It's people. So yeah, women are like that, but men are like that too. All people, like people are just people, and they suck. Charles M. Schulz was right. Charles M. Schulz was right. I love humankind. I really do. That's why I get really passionate about homelessness and stuff like this. I love humankind, dude. But it's like people, like the everyday interactions with people, and like having to purchase a car that's a planned obsolescent, and having to, you know, see all these homeless people everywhere, and everybody's ignoring them, and they're putting out news programs where they're calling for the death of all homeless, and everybody's complaining all the, like, people, dude, like, people just fucking suck, bro. People just fucking suck. So whenever somebody starts talking about racism, I just don't even pay attention. It's like, bro, it's all nonsense. But anyways, whatever. But anyways, I did want to kind of go into that. I want to do a couple of videos. I'm doing my laundry right now. I may only do this one, but I did want to talk about some other stuff. Like, I wanted to kind of talk about the Bible. But the thing about talking about the Bible is there's so much stigma with the Bible that you can't talk about the Bible. And I don't mean talk about it in the sense of, like, you know, preaching it or whatever. But like, I am compelled to defend the Bible because like, it's the best book I've ever seen, you know. It is the greatest story ever told. And but anyways, if I go into talking about, there's so much stigma, like people would just, you know, people just whatever. So which goes back to people, Charles M. Schulz, you know. I love humankind. It's people I can't fucking stand. And when I had this encounter, this close encounter, it just really reinforced that for me, where it's like, people, I fucking am sick of people, dude. I'm a loner. I am a loner. I understand the need and value of interactions, personal interactions with people, interpersonal and stuff, and relations with people. I do understand that. And so, but see, I also understand that in order to because I'm a loner, okay, look, because I'm a loner, I understand the danger of isolation. Isolation is never good. Anybody who thinks that isolation is good is fooling themselves, you know. A true loner understands the danger of isolation, and a true loner understands the value in interpersonal relations, because a loner needs interpersonal relations to maintain a healthy state of being a loner. Like if you want to be a functioning, mentally well loner, it requires interpersonal relations with people. So a true loner can never go and isolate, because isolation will kill you, you know. So there's a self-preservation comes into play. But as far as being like a loner, a lone wolf, it's like, yeah, dude, I mean, Pete, I'm so fucking, and like I said, this interaction, this event, like I'm convinced that there's a lot more psychopaths in the world today than there was a generation prior. Like there's a lot more psychopaths and all this kind, like sociopath people, psychopaths, malignant narcissists. Like there's a lot more evil today than there was a generation prior, you know. And I think pretty much everyone can pretty much agree in a general way, there's more evil today. And you know, and so after seeing what I saw with this this demon possession, dude, it really is. This is demon possession. I'm convinced also it's demon possession. If you get a chance, and you have an open mind, I want you to find the interview that with Art Bell, the Art Bell interview with Martin Malachi. And it's only about an hour and a half, and I guarantee you, if nothing else, it's entertaining. It's a very fascinating discussion between Art Bell and Malachi Martin. I think his name's Malachi Martin, or Martin Malachi. No, it's Malachi Martin. So the Art Bell interview with Malachi Martin, if nothing else, you will enjoy it. It is a very interesting conversation. And he talks about all about psychopathy and sociopath and psychopath, and how it relates to demon possession and the difference between the two, and some of the and his experience being a world-renowned exorcist, and his experience with exorcisms, and his take on demon possession in today in modern times, and some of experiences he's had with people that he was very close to, that he discovered over a long period of time that they were demon possessed, and had been the whole time he was in a close relationship with them, and what he had to do. And it's great if you're into this, like narcissism, like having, you know, this story that I'm talking about, where I'm talking about a psychopath / malignant narcissist. If you're into that kind of stuff, and learning about it, I encourage you have to listen to that Art Bell interview with Martin, Malachi Martin. See you, boys.